For my research project, I decided to do my topic on lowering the national minimum drinking age to 18. It's an interesting topic because it's been debated for many decades. Prior to 1984, anyone of the age of 18 could consume an alcoholic beverage. The age of 18 is a highly debated age because at 18 you're considered an adult and can do many things, such as vote and serve in the military. When the age was raised to 21 in 1984, the goal was to reduce traffic fatalities among teenagers. These reductions did happen, but at the same time, non-traffic related deaths have increased since. There are many negative effects to both the consumers and producers. Two weeks ago, Nolan Michael Birch, a freshman at West Virginia University, was found unconscious in a fraternity house the morning after a party. He was taken to an area hospital where he was later pronounced dead from alcohol poisoning. Since then, West Virginia has suspended all Greek activities. Another good example took place a little over a year ago when George Magus and Kathy Magus of Damascus, Maryland were charged with providing alcohol to minors and assaulting police officers. Police received a tip from a pizza delivery man that underage drinking was taking place at their party. However, a judge later concluded that evidence, including confiscated cell phones, packs of beer, an unregistered keg, and observations of underage drinking were gathered illegally because police entered the property without a warrant, and the case was later dismissed. The main legal issue I want to focus on is the National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984, which raised the minimum age from 18 to 21. There has been no progress in the legal system yet, but a month ago, Republicans completely took over the Senate and expanded their majority in the House of Representatives, and lowering the age back down to 18 is on their future agenda. For the first law review I looked at, it was a law review written by two economists, Christopher Carpenter and Carlos Dobkin. They found that 18 was the most commonly chosen age among the states that adopted lower minimum legal drinking ages in the late 1970s. 18 is also when one can vote, serve in the military, and serve on jury duty. This law review also provided a lot of good statistics. The first statistic was examining the increase in death rates when the drinking age was lowered to 18 in the 1970s. There was a 4.74% increase in deaths per 100,000 for the 18 to 20-year-old age group, and a 2.61% increase in deaths per 100,000 in the 21 to 24-year-old age group when the drinking age was 18. When the drinking age was raised to 21, there was also increases in areas such as suicide by 2.33%, motor vehicle crashes by 3.65%, and alcohol poisoning by 0.41%, again per 100,000. The main point I want to get across is that there's an increase in deaths whenever alcohol becomes legal. It doesn't have to do with the age. I looked at a national survey on drug use and health from 2005 and found that 85% of 20-year-olds had drank and 2 out of 5 had binge drank. Mark Bettner, chief of police in Boulder, Colorado, believes he can't effectively enforce the law when the drinking age is set at 21. He further explained how they have methods such as seizing houses where parties are taking place, writing everyone tickets that walks out, but all they're doing is pushing drinking further and further underground and making it tougher and tougher to handle. He believes if it was at 18, it would be easier to enforce and focus on better things such as, or more important things such as abuse, overconsumption, DUI driving, instead of just chasing kids around with a cup of beer in their hand, because that's not on the priorities. Gordy Bailey was a freshman at the University of Colorado in 2010, but died from alcohol poisoning because his brothers failed to call for help the night he got very sick and waited till the next morning because they were afraid they were going to get in trouble. because they were under 21. Because of this, it's not just about highway deaths, it's about binge drinking and kids being sneaky about drinking nowadays with binge drinking. The Surgeon General has found that 3,000 Americans are dying each year from non-traffic related incidents. The second law review I looked at examined law officers' views on enforcement of the minimum drinking age in 4 states. These officers found that there was satisfactory cooperation from owners of alcoholic beverage outlets enforcing the minimum drinking age. Persons younger than 21 are often allowed to serve and often sell to their friends when pressured to do so. When officers arrive at bars and stores and do a walkabout, underage drinkers quickly catch on and put their drinks down right away. Officers need physical evidence that they are drinking or they cannot make an arrest. The officers also concluded that there's not enough staff to focus on underage drinking. There's more important activities such as car crashes and assaults that take away the time needed to focus on this. Lastly, they found fake ID use in small community stores to be rare because merchants know the community well. The Department of Consumer Protection administers the Liquor Control Act, which prohibits the selling to a minor, and if caught, penalties can be a fine of up to $1,500, their liquor license revoked or suspended, and jail sentence of up to 1 year. Stores use transaction scanners to verify a customer's age and provides a defense for the seller if accused, if everything comes back valid. The problem is employees are lazy and fail to notice key components such as pictures not being that of the buyer or just not scanning cards at all. However, most teens don't begin drinking, as in more than just a few sips, until they're around age 16. So if the age was at 18 instead of 21, bars and stores would only have to worry about 2 ages, 16 and 17, instead of 5 ages, 18 to 20. In conclusion, binge drinking is on the rise and contributing to a lot more deaths other than traffic deaths. Locating underage drinking is challenging when the age is set at 21. Lowering the age to 18 would make enforcing the law a lot easier on officers. Businesses would also have a lower number of underage buyers. And these are my references.